Okay, I have a question about Quantum AI because I'm actually in just a little bit here. I'm going to be doing an alignable thing on ideal customers and referral partners. Is there already a link? I know you have Build a Buyer, but is there one of them in there already that someone could go in and say, who is my ideal customer? Here's what I offer, and ideal referral partner. That would just be so huge for anyone. I
Or,
mean,
okay, so you talking about specifically the tool for Alignable.
well, alignable people have to put on their profiles, they have to choose the tags for their ideal customer and their ideal referral partner. So let's just talk about customers because I'm just doing a workshop in a few minutes about this. But is there already a tool in there that anyone could go in and say, here's what I offer? I'm in construction, trades, and services. I offer relationship marketing, coaching. Who's my ideal customer? Is there a tool in Quantum AI already?
Yeah, you could use the Build a Buyer tool.
Well, I tried that, but it just gives me a um like one person. Like it's just like here's a 35-year-old man that something. So
Yeah,
maybe I did something
yeah.
wrong.
What you would do in here is you would do multiple. What you do
Oh,
is the target segment and the product. The product might remain the same. Like the product might be whatever the product is, and then you might have these different target segments. So, like for instance, I know you've got somebody that does dog boarding.
yes.
So, dog boarding might be the product, and the segment might be dog boarding companies. That's totally different than somebody that wants to board their dog. Does that
Hmm.
does that make sense?
Yeah. So if that person said they want to know who their ideal customers are, like who is my ideal customer that I need to market to, they would put in, what if they don't know who it is?
If
Sounds
they,
like the previous tool, John, the one that you just put in your market, and then it gives you the ranked from
yeah,
1 to 10.
the
I forget
segment,
what it's called.
yeah, market segmenter.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's another one that you could use is Market Segmenter, which it's literally the first tool in the Act tools. And that was a great suggestion that you made. Several people have made the same suggestion that I should put all the Act tools in a folder.
yeah,
They're
for
not
sure.
like because we got a lot of tools now. So I think I probably will do that. I'll put all the image and video tools in one folder, the Act tools in one folder. But this Market Segmenter tool, this will give you the different segments. So you could put in, dog boarding or kennels or whatever, and it would give you the different segments.
I see.
And then from there, but this is something like we yesterday we talked to somebody from Alignable about potentially making tools for them. We could actually create a specific tool for Alignable members to create their profile.
Yeah,
Could
right.
create their whole profile, give them all the stuff that they need, and then they just go plug it in.
Well, ideal customer, people don't know who their ideal customers and referral partners are. And I'm going to be promoting everybody gets this today.
Yeah.
So I want to show them here's where you would go to find out who your ideal customer is and referral partner. And then all the marketing stuff obviously is already there.
Gotcha. Yeah. So with ACT, you never go to the build a buyer first. In ACT, you always do your segmentation first. You pick the most profitable segment, and that's what the market segmenter is for. That one basically gives you all your market segments so you can decide, okay, this is the profitable segment I want to focus on. So I'm going to go with that one. And then you take that and you take that over to the build a buyer, and now you figure out, okay, who's my buyer for that segment?
Okay.
So it all kind of all those tools starting from market segmenter, all of these are all ACT tools.
Yeah, that should be in folder. And then you don't have anything yet for someone to figure out who their ideal referral partner is. So the dog boarder, her ideal referral partner is a veterinarian, right? Because
Yeah.
they all their customers have a pet. So
Yeah.
you don't have that in here yet, right?
So in that, that's the same thing. You could use the build a buyer. So let's say let's say as far as your market segment, it could be veterinarians. And then over here, you could put boarding kennels for your product.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily going to buy, but they are the perfect referral. So it could do that job for you.
Okay.
You
Thank
just
you.
have to kind of think of, okay, who am I focused on? And this is an important thing to understand. Sometimes the person that you're trying to market to isn't always a buyer. Sometimes they're a referral partner. Like I talk about this, I go hunting for referral partners. And what I'm looking for is somebody that's got my market audience already in their database so I can do a webinar with them. I can turn them into an affiliate. So an affiliate is the same exact thing as a referral partner in Alignable. So think about them as that is your customer. That's who you're trying to convince. And what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to sell them anything, but I'm trying to sell them on the idea that they're going to promote me and make a bunch of money. It's the same thing. When you're trying to influence someone to make a decision, that could be considered a sale. So when you're talking about build a buyer, it doesn't necessarily have to be a purchaser. You could use build a buyer to identify your partners, your referral partners. Just think about the semantics of what you're doing just slightly differently. But you are making a sale. If you're trying to convince someone to do something of any nature, that in one way or another is a sale, even if money is not transacted. So, I mean, that goes as far as into the dating world. You know, if you're trying to get somebody to go on a date with you, that's a sale. You are trying to make a sale. And, if you don't communicate properly, you're not going to close the deal. It's the same thing. So you could use these tools. You just have to think of the semantics differently. It's not always a buyer, but you're still trying to convince them. So like think about that. For me to get a referral partner to say yes, I have to know how to communicate with them. That's where the ACT program comes right back into play. So I need to know what's important to them. I need to know what problems they've experienced. I need to know what they're thinking. And that's where the build a buyer tool comes in.